Yo, 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 what's good, everybody? This is Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction, and this is another episode of The Composition. And today, you know, there's just been a lot of energy around kind of about focus and also like the things that make you um there's when I look at as far as finding success in these different things, because you're making money that's able to support you and your family, and doing something that you love, and being able to contribute and bring value to community, whether online or in your neighborhood. All of those are possible. There is, and that's what the name of this episode, the other way. Now, I say this because there is, every person has their level of awareness. And even with certain levels of awareness, there is these self-made boundaries that we create. And so what I say by this is, if you don't go to and just surf around YouTube or surf around certain platforms and understanding as far as whatever your version of success is, to me success is being able to have all of my needs and wants met for me and my surrounding loved ones through my skills and art. That to me is, and being able to continue to grow that reach and be able to continue to, successfully bring in money. That way I can be able to do more with my ideas that are able to contribute. Because, surprise, secretly, I've been a scientist this whole time. Well, I would like to say, when I was smaller, I did want to be a scientist. I didn't know what type of scientist. And I realized there's this consistent thing about what I would do in life with different things. And it would be like different general things, like I would be into different things, but it would kind of be general. Like I would be like, oh yeah, I love astrology, and there's like these different subsections and different types of astrology. So it's all like, you like Western or do you like Vedic astrology, or you know, so there's all of these different things. But I realized ultimately, I just like the things that I'm into. So I'm just into a bunch of different things. Um, Now, that allows me to see all different types of content and people who are, to me, successful. So I know that after, I want to say, 1,000 or 10,000, you can monetize your video, or after a certain amount of hours. So that's something I need to do some research on. But there's a lot of people who will be sitting there with like 50,000, 100,000 followers. Like it's like that shit is real, and I see that more times than not. Just random people, and the reason, and they're all different shapes and sizes. I was watching this Gary Vee video, and this one woman that was on there, she, you know, like a lot of us, really looks at looks, so she's just like the people that I see that have all of these followers, they look a certain way. And I'm sitting up there knowing all different types of people, and seeing it over and over. There's days where I literally will find a random YouTuber that has like, anything from like 10 to a couple of 100,000, even like a million subscribers in some cases. And these are random people. Like, I'm telling you, this shit is not far-fetched. You know, they don't all look this picture perfect way. I just stumbled across this one YouTuber. Who is he? Let me find him right now. Let me go into my history, because this shit was so random, and he has over 1 million fucking subscribers. And this shit is so... I'm sitting up there like, what in the fucking world? Okay, his name is Michael Reeves. And so sometimes what I'll do is I will go through different YouTubers, and I will look at their beginning of their videos, and I like the ones that will they will celebrate their channel milestones. So when they get 100 subscribers, when they get 1,000 subscribers, when they get 50,000 subscribers, when they get 100,000 subscribers, and when they get 1 million, you know I like to look at the time frame it took to get to each milestone. So on average, to your first 1,000 subscribers is going to depend on how consistent and in what way that like, it's a combination of things. Like, when I looked at this dude, Michael Reeves, who has 5.03 million subscribers. This dude, like, this is no diss to him. He's freaking hilarious, but it's so unassuming, and he literally started this 3 years ago. His viral video, his very first video, was this video called "The Robot That Shines a Laser in Your Eye," and today it has 4.1 million views. But literally, his second video after that was 4,500 subs in a day. And that's a wild, scenario. Like, that does not happen all the time. On average, from what I've seen, as far as consistently, what I've seen is a lot of people had plans to do something with YouTube. So you have a lot of people that started it, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11 years ago. And you will see, what I've seen on average is the first year you'll see anything from 0 to 4 videos on average that first year, especially if they've had it longer. And then, going into like the second, third year, you see that they try to get to at least a once a month process. Sometimes they do multiple times a month, and sometimes they don't do it a month. So it kind of still evens out. Usually they'll do anywhere from like 14 to 20 some odd videos. And within that first, here's the thing. Anytime that I seen a YouTuber consistently post for a year, they get the subscribers. Like, that's literally the only thing that I've consistently seen, and I've seen everybody from anime, from, you know, beat making, from random comedy skits, from uh literally any person. And this is with doing some of the most bare minimal when it comes to, like, you want to make sure you have a decent title, and you want to make sure that you have a decent thumbnail, and you want to consistently do something that is in particular niches. So whether that be tarot, whether that be as far as like what people go to daily, weekly, monthly. So anything that has something like reaction videos to a particular show that you like, to an album that just dropped, you know, to new TV series or a movie, like, anything that you can be consistent with, that you like doing or like talking about, like, consistent. And from on average, it works anywhere, depending on the thing, anywhere by posting once a month to once or twice a week. That's what I've seen. Consistently doing that for a year. Like, I've just seen it on too many scenarios have I've seen. And when I say random people, I everyone's random, but what I mean by that is, like, I mean, I consider myself random. It's just these people who I feel like are just like everyday people. And I mean, celebrities, everything like that are too. And I think YouTube has done a great job of blurring as far as those aspects, of like the reality. But when you look at these certain people, YouTubers, you would know nothing about, and they're sitting up there with a network in the millions. And these are look, man, this is why I'm doing this challenge on consistency, because I literally, let me show you an example. And I will show you in the sense of this recent videos that I've posted. So this is really cool. So what I've been posting on my YouTube recently, we'll say since the pandemic. We'll look at 5 months ago. Well, we'll actually say this year, because literally I started during when everything was started. So 5 months ago. Since then, I've released 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, So within these 5 months, I've put out 57 videos, and with this will be the 58th video. And so now, with that, I put within these last, we'll say, we'll say, yeah, a month ago. We'll just go with a month ago. So a month ago, I put full moon, lunar eclipse, Capricorn, July 5th, 2020. And this was, my reading was like 2 hours. It's got 80 views. And then after that, it was this country band Lady Antebellum lawsuit. And then some episodes as far as the composition. This was as far as the fourth episode of this season. Now, this particular episode will make it episode 20. So that's great. Like, the consistency of just doing this consistently has been great. But when it comes to my channel, there's, depending on the subject matter and what it is that I talk about, I will catch a wave of anything that's popular. So I try to stick to things that I'm actually into, because I feel like it's not forced. If I'm doing research, or like something that has to deal with music, or a black musician, I'm a black musician. I feel like, yeah, I'm gonna speak about it. So for example, with this, Lady Antebellum, this was a lawsuit against the black woman blues singer, named Lady A. So I felt, yeah, I even made a Change X petition. I was very moved and wanting to do something on that. When it comes to as far as the, full moon, I am into astrology. I legit, that is a part of my daily aspect of myself, so yeah, I'm going to talk about what's going on in the sky, because I naturally do this research. And so that's kind of what I've been struggling with, actually doing it more and kind of doing these general readings. I guess a part of me is just like, who am I to just come out the blue? But it's just all like, that's not up to me. People who need to, there may be people that really need my general readings, and I feel like if that is a aspect of you, like, put that content out, create that content, because that is a part of my day. Like, these aren't all things that fill up my day. I constantly am filling my head with like new information in some type of way, and some ponder and some article, all across the board. And I make content and I do all of these things, and that's why my, channel looks the way it does. So I bring that up because when I talk about something that is if I'm in the wave quick enough, basically, so the first 24, 48 hours, if I'm angle it in a particular way, then it'll catch the wave of that. So with these, a lot of these, I don't do a lot of sharing, and that's a part of my strategy as far as just trying to work with the natural flow of YouTube, and people just stumbling across it just to see, and it works, like that full moon video has 80 views, the Lady Antebellum one has 37, Kanye West bipolar rant, second stimulus check, like that was part of that composition one, that's just audio, that has 21, and then I have a CBD fair market interview. That one has 15 views, and that, yeah, I feel like there's still something that I'm not really paying attention to when it comes to titling, because I feel like something's going over my head, and I'm either putting too much of the stuff that isn't important, or not wording it. There's something that I'm not doing right with that. But then the Rick and Morty versus the Genocider, that I woke up, literally it had been out for maybe 4 hours on YouTube, and I saw that only one other person had like a reaction video. And for one, I watch Rick and Morty. Two, I watch anime. Three, I've been to Japan. And four, I love time travel. So that, I just had so many thoughts within that, and I did that like right away. Like literally after I saw it, I went and recorded a video just on Be Live, and did the um, non-live version basically, and it saved. I went and edited it, put it up, and today it has 2.1k views, and the majority, about the first almost just regular 2000 of that was this was a month ago. So that initial wave, that's what I had gotten. And then after that, I labeled it the composition 005, Rick and Morty versus the Genocider, Deep Look and Time Travel Part 2. That one only has 11 views, so it's just all like, alright, so what was... The titling is different for sure. The thumbnail is different. I'm not sure if I use the same tags. I gotta double check. Then I go into the composition 006, Nas, Ultra Black, and Doja Cat. That one has 16 views. And then something that I felt like that would bring a lot of value, which was How to Stop Procrastination and Prepare for the Life of Your Dreams, only had 1 view. And I don't know if it's because I'm putting the composition, because later on in some of them I think I stopped putting the composition. I don't know, like, that's the type of stuff that I do research on and find out, why that is. And then also, though, I do watch and read the Black Clover anime, and manga. So I have my own thoughts on what's going on with that. So because that happens weekly, I get the wave from that. So like my first one, and I did one before and I caught like a little wave of that, but now here we are. Actually, I can see exactly when. I did 10 months ago, chapter 225 review, and that one has 46 views. So here we are, 2 weeks ago, I did the Black Clover chapter 261 predictions, and that one has 135 views. And then after that, I have the composition episode, and again, I have the composition 008 in this title, What is Your Kung Fu Ways to Find Peace in Unknown. Again, one of those that I felt would have been, great, and I don't know if that has to do with the subtitle and or the thumbnail. So again, those are something that I research. But then the next video is the Black Clover chapter 261 leaks and theories. That one has 213 views. That was a week ago. Again, with these waves, and then the composition 009, it still has that in the subtitle. When your thoughts are preventing you from taking action, do this. Again, that's another one that is, I need to find out how I'm angling that. But then I did my first album review, the Nas King Disease full album first reaction review, and that one has 403 views. And actually I've gotten several subscribers and engagements and stuff from that, and even a suggestion for my next album review, which would be the Dave East Karma 3. That will be going on this week. So yeah, I might do that on Saturday, because I did this, Nas's King's Disease on Saturday. So that might be something that I do on Saturdays, would be like a dope album review. That sounds pretty dope. You heard it here first. And then after that, Unpacking the Week. This is where I took off the composition. And then I just put in the title, Unpacking the Week. Do you feel distracted sitting still? And plus exclusive recording in Shizuoka, Japan. And that one has 2 views. So this is does this have to do with titling? Does this have to do with tags? Does this have to do with the fact that it's a bunch of stuff on the thumbnail and people are just like, what the fuck? It could be a combination of all those, but at least I took off for that video, even though it didn't seem to make a difference, the composition part. So that one has 2 views. Now the next one is the composition 011, brand awareness, systems, and choosing your challenge. Again, another one that was just all like, huh? Like, I changed up the thumbnail. I put it as space, and then I have it as the composition. But again, maybe I need to change the thumbnail. Maybe I need to, like I said this in other videos, take what is something that people are searching for and put that in the title. It's still the podcast, but you're putting the title something that is going to get people's attention. And the cool thing about this is I can go back and change all of these, and it's still going to, and I can see how well it works based on what I use for the titles, because if it's something that's popular, it doesn't matter when I posted it, people will find it. So so moving on, when I put, basically the pattern that I'm seeing is when I put the composition, or from what I'm doing with the podcast and putting that out on YouTube, at least it's getting some views. I don't know if that's trickling in or by devoted subscribers. I appreciate y'all. We're on a mission to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of this 90-day challenge. So right now we're in the 3rd week, and we got tomorrow and Saturday, and that'll complete the week, and then we'll be going into the 4th week. 4 out of 15 weeks, so that's cool. But what I'm seeing is when I put, and I'm still working on it, because for example, when I did the predictions, that got 135, and I don't know if that had to deal with what, because I think at that point I was putting this in Reddit, and I think I was a part of a Facebook Black Clover group as well, so I dropped it in there. But for the most part, I don't, and so, but let's see. Yeah, so looking at, another one that I did a week ago, which was the Black Clover 261 breakdown, that one only got 19 views. So is that because of the thumbnail? Is that because, what I use for the tags? Is that because what there's a couple of things that I have to use and figure out to see what, was the reason for that. And then, my thoughts on the shooting of Jacob Blake. I'm pretty sure that from those 25 views, a lot of that was because of the massive amount of people searching and talking about it. And so, then from there, I've been putting out, but I took out the composition, on some of them. Some of them I'll put, just the name of it, of the episode, and some of them I'll put the composition. but I feel like some of these are stuff that people search, but I'm not. It's not transacting, you know. Then I did a Nas Ultra Black official video reaction explain, and that one has 31 views, you know. And then I did the composition still, so those are consistent, but they go from having no views to having like 6 views, you know. So I'm still working out as far as with that, but I'm seeing something when it comes to the Black Clover, because for example 3 days ago I did the Black Clover 262 breakdown, and that one had gotten 11 views, but the one that I did yesterday or 11 hours ago, that is the Black Clover spoilers, and I actually had one, but it was flagged, so you know I got that taken down. But that one actually was doing good. I think that one was almost at 700 views. But the one that is currently that I put up, you know, 11 hours ago, that one's currently at 337 views. And I didn't do what I did the last time, which was which I pretty much have the untranslated version of it. Alright, y'all. So, what I wanted to do was I was this was like way later on in the day. This is probably like a good 4 hours from what I originally, you know, did this. But what I wanted to say mainly is that there is the other way. Understand, like I was watching this video, part one of the Nick Cannon, Mick Cannon, Nick Cannon's class or whatever it is, but it had part one. It had Kanye West, and he was breaking down some really interesting things, which was as far as his whole thing with being on Forbes, and how, you know, originally the first 2 years that he felt he should have been on there, they said it for some reason, like there's several ways on how they determine, you know, that you make that list, but you know, he didn't do his the cookie cutter or whatever way. Not saying that everyone did, but the one thing I like about Kanye is that he's able to show us the other way. There are other ways. Like, you think you got to do it, you know, this way, but there are other ways, you know. And I think that is the main thing that I want to, you know, bring up as far as the examples that I was bringing up earlier, you know, and as far as this Kanye one, is that there is the other way. You know, you used to as far as this way, but just realize that there is the other way. What that other way is for you and how that's presented to you is gonna vary, but try to look at that, you know. So yeah, hopefully y'all enjoy that. Again, this is Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction, and y'all have an awesome day. Make sure to look at the shop, dabcho.com/shop. And again, if you drop a voicemail, you're on Anchor, then I'm able to put that in, you know, next episode. So make sure to leave a comment if you're listening to this on YouTube. Subscribe. Yeah, again, this is Mr. Composition MC that writes fiction. Peace.